Hey everyone, I'm going to show you a quick and easy tutorial on how to paint fire. The paint I am using are Arteza Acrylic paint. I'm going to start off with like darker colors, like this is Prussian blue, violet, and I'm just going to work my way from like the cool colors to the warm colors. So usually I start out with violet, Prussian blue, cobalt blue, crimson red, scarlet red, Indian yellow, Naples yellow, and I'm going to use black and white somewhere in the painting. I'm not sure, but we will see. So I just started using these paints. Usually the paints that I use are apple barrel. These I'm not very used to. In my honest opinion, they don't blend very well with fine detail, but I find that they're very good at painting backgrounds. I'm going to try to paint the flames with these. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but hopefully it does. And I got some newspaper here so I don't get paint all over my table. So I'm going to start off with this brush. It is like an inch long. You can use a bigger brush, whatever you want to use. And I'll probably just paint within like a little square so I don't use too much. But like I said, you want to start off with the cool colors at the top and then the warmer colors at the bottom. You want to have the brighter and warmer colors at the bottom because that's where the fire is going to be. So you want to have that glow. I'm gonna paint just a little bit bigger. Yeah, so I'm not very used to these paints, so but I'm going to try to work with it. I'm going to add some blue and mix it with the purple a little bit. I should probably start the darker, like the blue at the top. There we go, that should be big enough. And then you want to start off with some reds, or in my case, the crimson red. Mix that up with the purple. Which one was the purple? I think it was this one. Just barely mix. Wiping some of that excess paint. And just work your way up. So it's creating like this, like a dark sky, I guess. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You can say these are like little clouds or like, it should be good. And then mix some orange with it. So I'm going to mix the orange with the red. And yellow. That looks more like a peach color. Hold on. I'm going to use yellow ochre. So that's out of the way. I'm gonna get rid of this pale yellow so I don't use it again. Like I said earlier, just to work your way up. You don't want like a bunch of solid colors like just stacked on top of each other. You want it to all just blend in, make it look more natural. And you can mix the colors as much as you want or make it more dark as you want. It's up to you. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow. Because we want that contrast. And we want to find the spot where the fire starts. So that looks good. And I'm going to get my smaller brushes ready. So now we are going to start with the flames. So I use red. Mix it up with a little black so we can make it darker. And I don't have my mixer, so I'm just going to use my brush. I mean, I have it, I just don't know where it is. So we're just going to mix the red and the black. It's still pretty red, but it's like a lot darker. And just start with that. You want to start like thick and then just slowly make like a point. Thin it out a little bit. And I'm using like a longer, thinner brush. I'm going to start with medium-sized flames. And then work my way to like thinner. So they're not all the same size. And sometimes you'll have flames that like have a straight like stroke right there. So we're going to fix that by just creating just like a curve, I guess. I'm not good at explaining things this morning, so hopefully just watching will get the message straight. We want them all connected, not every single one. We want them to all blend in so they don't look, I don't know, like cartoony, I guess. Plus, we may have some flames in the background, like behind these ones right here. But I don't know if I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of these paints. I usually use Apple Barrel because they're more like water-based, I guess, and they blend a lot easier. So these dry really fast and they get really crusty. I'm just not a huge fan. I mean, they're not the worst. It's just I'm used to a certain medium. So I have to just work with these and just see how I can get used to it and find my technique, I guess. I'm starting with the flames behind these ones right here. They're not going to be as detailed. You see how it gets light, like at the top? That way it looks really good, like against the darker background. If I could fix anything though, I'd probably make the background more like a yellowish orange. So keep that in mind if you would like to try this yourself. You can also look on Google or Pinterest. See like different kinds of flames. These are just random tall ones. Now we are going to do a lighter orange layer. So I'm mixing this yellow ochre with the red left over. Indian yellow, which looks more like orange. Mix this up a little bit. Add a little bit more red. So I think that looks good. I'm sorry, my palette is like really messy. These paints don't clean very well, so I think I ruined it. Or I'll just have to clean it thoroughly just to get it completely clean. So with my long thin brush, I'm going to start on the lighter layer. Pretty much doing what I did before, but shorter. Maybe some longer strokes. That way they can just all flow together and mix together. I might do this again, but with my apple barrel paints, because for some reason I just cannot like blend very well with these. Sometimes I have to add a little bit more water. And my friend suggested using an acrylic medium, which is like a gel, so I'll have to try that out for these. And I switched to like this flatter, like square shaped brush. That way I can use the sides for like the finer detail. And then turn it around to make the thicker ones. Sometimes you'll find yourself like, oh my gosh, I added too much yellow, but you just have to work with it. Sometimes you have to switch brushes and just see what you can do about it. Yep. So I'm using this smaller fine detail brush for the pointy ends. I'm mixing some orange and red too. I'm just adding a little bit of red at the bottom. Sometimes it'll come out orange, but that's okay. You just have to keep on mixing and mixing until it looks right to you. And by the way, I'm not a professional, so yeah. I just learn as I go and as I paint more. The more you paint and practice, the more you learn. And watching YouTube videos, because that's pretty much what I learned from too. I'm just painting a little bit faster because I feel that it just works better. If I paint too slow, I don't know, it just seems like the paint dries too fast. It doesn't give me like any time to blend. Also, I'm supposed to be adding yellow in the next step, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it now because sometimes it just dries a little odd. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it now and just see how it turns out, because I'm actually learning too as I'm doing this. So far it's actually going pretty well. So let's go ahead and finish this part, and then we'll start with the yellow. I'm also using like bigger blotches of paint because sometimes it's just, I can't work with it today. Like, just not this paint. It's, I don't know. I don't want to like bash like Arteza or anything. I love their watercolors, but the paint, the acrylic paint, it's just not my jam. I'm sure it is for someone else. or maybe a lot of people, but for me personally, it's just not my cup of tea, but we're still working with the ears, so maybe I'll change my mind. On a positive side, it kind of makes it look, the flames look more like crackly, I guess. So that's one good sign. Like maybe the strokes being visible is a good thing for this painting. Okay. Now we're going to do yellow. Get that excess paint off. And I'm going to start at the top with the pointy end and just to work my way down. And just like the orange and the reds, you can just mix it up. And these flames are like more in the front, so I'm starting at the bottom of the picture or the painting. And with the yellow, you can just make it as like sloppy as you can. It kind of makes the fire like flow like more. That way it has like more motion, I guess. So if you just want to make it all like splotchy like that. That way the flames are more alive and burning, obviously. It seems like I'm having some luck with the yellow. Maybe because I'm not trying so hard. So maybe that'll resonate with you. I'm also going to just paint a little bit more flames in the background. And they will be darker than these ones right here. That way it looks like, you know, it's just not one line of flames. They will be less detailed, because usually if you want something in the background, you want to make it look like it's in the background, you want it to be like more blurry because it's far away, or in my case more blurry because I'm nearsighted. At this point, I'm kind of just like experimenting and just going to town on like the randomness and seeing what looks good for me. But everybody has their own opinion on what looks good for them. And I'm just mixing different colors together. I'm just using all the paint that I have here and just mixing and mixing. But the idea is that you want the background flames to be darker. So just keep on mixing until it looks right. And I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I could probably do this for hours and make like huge bursting flames, but I'll try not to do that. But even with the darker flames in the background, you can still add a little bit of yellow. Just a little bit. You also want like the smaller, like, I don't know the word for it, the smaller like floating flames. If that makes any sense. The floaty flames. The ember maybe. So I think that looks pretty good so far. So I am done with this, and so if you do a tutorial or if you do a painting based on this tutorial, you can add as much flames as you want. You can make them bigger or smaller, however you want. This is just an idea on just how to get started. I'm not like an expert at painting flames, but I think everybody has their own style and ideas. This is just a basic one, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye!